The purpose of this video is to explain a little bit about the upcoming summit on values education. The two sponsoring organizations are the Universal Peace Federation and the International Association of Academicians for Peace, Oceania, which is a project of the Universal Peace Federation, which is an NGO in general consultative status with the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations. The core purposes of these organizations can be summarized as such, is that we seek to foster the well-being and the moral development of people. We seek to foster good governance and the ethical development of science, technology, and economics. And we seek to foster mutual prosperity through promoting the free exchange of technology among nations, but also to foster sustainable development. You know, we're clearly facing global challenges which need a global response. The first major challenge that needs to be addressed is the lack of values perspective with respect to guiding scientific, technological, and economic development. Most academic and technological development has been clearly motivated by the ideal to improve the human condition. However, in a world still plagued with unsustainable exploitation of nature's resources, of famine, of conflict, and inequity, it is evident that science and technology have not been used as ethically and as effectively as they could be. Hence, these need to be driven by some standards of value. Transdisciplinary research and cooperation is also needed to address these challenges. So we need essentially what we are arguing in the summit is that we need a proactive mental health and holistic education. Why? Well, clearly 1 in 5 Australians experience anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. 1 in 4 young people are at risk of mental illness. And suicide accounts for 1/3 of all deaths among young people aged 14 to 24. Some psychologists maintain that one of the fundamental issues of being human is the need to find purpose and meaning in our lives. 1/3 of patients seeking help from mental health professionals come with human problems, that is, issues of meaning, rather than chronic anxiety and depression. Well-being and happiness are more than the absence of negative psychological states, after all. It relies on a life of meaning and purpose and a connection and belonging, which are all underpinned by values. So why do we need values education? Well, 1, to achieve our potential in our lives, in our relationships and in society, and to manage the challenges that we face in our lives and in society. 2, to prioritize the quest for meaning, connection with others, and service for others. And 3, to address mental health, injustice, and conflict. And 4, to address our dysfunctional nature. In a sense, human ideals and desires, when they are fulfilled, in a way, happiness comes about or ensues. Desires can be good, but they can also be dysfunctional. The wrong desires can lead to unethical and unproductive outcomes in our lives. Humans, in that sense, can be both good and unethical, effective and ineffective at times. The first step in being a good and effective person is getting our values right and because pursuing the wrong ones, however much we believe are right, can lead us to unhappiness. Hence, we argue that we need a holistic education. First, a holistic education needs to address how to best manage ourselves. Number 2, how to manage our relationships and contribute positively to society and manage our natural environment well. A holistic education also needs to consider the 3 moral and psychological domains of reasoning, emotion, and behavior. A holistic education also needs to foster, as we know, intellectual and creative abilities, which is what our current education system does. but it also needs to foster emotional and social abilities that underpin well-being and connection with others. And finally, also, we can see that we need to promote service learning because through service learning and public service, this supports the personal development of the individual, but also the common good. And fourth, and but last but not least, holistic education needs to foster shared universal values, interdependence, and mutual prosperity. These mindsets and practices will foster global citizens that seek to find the common good and shared values that will support humanity. Thank you for listening and thank you for giving up your time.